So we're gonna need a couple of different colors today. So we're gonna use a little bit of white, black, this is deep brown, and the same raw sienna color that we've been using the whole time through. So there are those 4 colors. Also, I'm using these little puffs, which is sea sponge, and they work fantastic for what I'm going to be doing. They have different shapes, and that's what gives the texture. So I'm using 2 different shapes for 2 different textures. I may turn to a brush for the white areas, but not entirely sure yet. So we're just gonna get started here. So I'm gonna try to hopefully make this work with the right colors. I do already have the raw sienna down, so I'm not concerned too much with the raw sienna as much, but I am going to add a little bit of the darker colors. I'm gonna keep them where they're supposed to be, just like that, just a little bit. And we're just gonna take this onto our sponge, dab it off quite a bit, and then just dab here and there. I'm not concerned where it's going. It doesn't have to look fantastic. All we're doing is just dabbing all over the place. You can dab light, you can dab dark, whatever you want. The lighter that you do, the more texture you're gonna get. Right now, I'm just trying to get some color down just to get a good base. So just to get a good base down, it doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter how you do it. We're just gonna go all over the place with this. And just tappity tap everywhere the brown is. It doesn't matter if I go over, because I'm gonna be going over that again anyway. So that's all we're doing, is this tippity tapping. It can go over the edges on the side, doesn't matter. I'm gonna put a little bit over here, not much, just a little bit. The rock's basically gonna stay how it is. And that's all I'm doing. So I'm gonna go away and I'm going to get this color. Actually, no, I'll stay here. I'll just get the first side done here first. So now that I'm kind of done with that color, I'm gonna add a little bit of black, just a touch. Just to give it some boop, boop, boop. You kind of see there's a little bit of this in there. So it gives it a little bit more, I guess, mud, if you will. Like so. Looks nice. There's that. Now in my other bucket, I do have a little bit of black, white, and brown, just to give it a little lighter color. And I'm gonna use a different sponge for this one, just because it is a different color altogether. So I'll just dab. And it's already starting to look like a gravel road. Different colors, different textures. I am going to go in with the dark color again a little bit afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish the rest of the road. And then we're going to come back and do the finishing touches. Okay guys, so it looks a lot better. It's drying really good. Give you a little bit of a look. Kind of looks like gravel. Really liking how it's looking. There is that. Okay. So that is what that looks like. Now what we're gonna do is, while it's still sort of damp, we're going to use just this very light color here. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, just so this is the color we're gonna go with. Kind of an eggshell white. And while it's still sort of damp, we're gonna just take another spongy, it's more of a kind of, not really a open sponge, it's kind of a, it's a little more closed than the other ones. So, and it just stamps right in the middle. And that's all we're gonna do is stamp it in the middle and just tappity tap it. Now it's gonna look really, 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 really like kind of wonky at first until I get some of that off. Now with this, I don't want to go over it too many times because it will actually pull the paint up. So see how it still looks like road, but it's kind of dulled down a little bit. It looks like the road on the edges, but it also looks like it's been used a few times. Okay, so we're gonna work on this side here. So the same thing, we're gonna use just white paint and a sponge. Now this is just straight up white paint. I'm gonna use my paintbrush and just kind of get the edges a little bit wet. That's all I'm doing. I'm not gonna bother going over too much, just need it to be a little bit wet on the edges, and then take my sponge, this nice clean sponge, and we're just gonna sponge into the road, just a little bit like that. You can go in as far as you want, however, wherever, just like this, and just go into the road. And what's this gonna do is create it looking like a snowy path, just like that, see? And if you want to, you can add a little bit of white into the mess up here, just to give it that. But if you feel like you're running out of a little bit of white, just dab into your paint and then just kind of go for it. And I'm going to kind of do this on both sides. I'm going to be careful with this side here because I don't want to get rid of all that lovely mountain look that goes around the rocks, around the lake. I just want it to kind of do that. See how it looks kind of nice? If you feel you have too much paint, just squish it off on something and then just go for it like that. It gives it that nice dusted look, a little bit here and there just to give it a little more, like it hasn't been walked on in a few minutes. A little bit of dust across there, just like that. So that's kind of what it looks like. Looks like a roadway now. And I'm gonna continue with this and then we'll be back in a flash. Okay guys, all done. All the fine details, all the painting, everything, all done. So painting, start to finish, right from the ground up, from just the regular styrofoam, carving, gluing, painting, resin work, everything. All of it is done. So I'm gonna do a quick overview of what it looks like, just this part of it. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. And I will show you pictures next time in a short little video of how I put it all together to make it look like one big, beautiful village. Talk to y'all later. Bye.